Hi, it's Tess, and today is tip 362, I believe. And I found an article with 21 tips from experts on weight loss, so I thought I'd go through the list and see where I stand on these items. The first one is they say have protein at every meal. And while I agree with that, I'm going to say the one caution is for a period of time I was doing a lot of protein shakes thinking I needed huge amounts of protein. In the beginning of my journey, I may have needed that, but now I realize that plant sources of protein and vegetables, or animal and plant sources of protein are my best bet. I broke a 2-year weight loss stall when I got off of multiple protein shakes, prepared protein shakes every day. The second thing is stick to calorie-free drinks. That is true of me. I no longer drink milk. Basically, all I drink is water. That has been since surgery. I've never been a coffee drinker, so don't hate, but I've never been a coffee drinker, but water is my go-to all the time. I drink that always. This next tip is high quality protein, and I guess I'm going to say yes. Doc V pushes a lot about getting away from chemicals, and high quality protein would be the things without a lot of chemicals in them. And I know that those prepared protein drinks have preservatives and a lot of chemicals, and I did break a weight loss stall when I got away from them. The next thing is make it convenient. I'm going to say that is true. I spin out my lettuce and have it ready to go. I cut up my vegetables like green onions. I'll have them ready to go. I like to pickle onions sometimes too. If I use like a big bulk onion, I'll put them in rice vinegar, so those are always ready to go. I'll make up soups ahead of time, like vegetable soups in the winter that I use as my green smoothie. I just do a vegetable soup because basically it's just vegetables. So making it convenient does help me. This one is saying 3, 2, 1. It's like spreading things out during the week. 3 days of the week do weightlifting, 2 days of the week do a certain type of exercise like cardio, and 1 day a week maybe you do stretching or yoga. The next tip I'm going to say I definitely do, and it is something I even upped in January. Get your steps in. Like currently I'm working on 15,000 steps a day, and I have met that every day in January. And it is funny, my little health thing on my phone keeps telling me, you are this much more than last year. And I'm thinking, wow, it has made a big, huge difference because I upped at 5,000. I have been able to do it, but I do kind of keep a reminder at certain points in the day of where I need to be to hit it, because I don't want to have 5,000 steps at the end of the day. I'll never get to sleep. The next one is don't do a diet you can't stick to. I think that's really important. I used to set unrealistic expectations. I'd get discouraged and I'd quit. Definitely not the way to go. My next one is eat 3 cups of vegetables a day. I'm going to definitely agree with that one. A green smoothie and a salad every day definitely puts me in that point where I'm eating 3 cups of vegetables a day. So a lot of these tips that these 21 tips from experts are things that I agree with. The one thing I do watch is I don't get, well, good morning, Joan, good to see you. I try to avoid processed foods, and I try not to put additives like to my water. So I am trying to get back to what would be a natural diet. Work on mindful eating. That's another tip, and I think that's an important one too. Mindful eating, sometimes wondering what that means. And for me, mindful eating kind of means that I evaluate when I eat food, how does my body feel? Am I tired? Am I sluggish? Am I lethargic? Or am I on it? Like I can solve problems and I can move forward and I'm excited. Because I want to live this life excited, active, and doing things that I couldn't do when my BMI was so high. Just as a reminder, my BMI was 60. I've showed this picture recently, but this is who I was before I started my journey. So I have done a lot of work on recognizing how certain foods make me feel. And I will say I definitely agree with that tip. The next one is they say eat volume. Well, I will say if you're eating volume, make sure it's fruits and vegetables that you're eating volume of. You don't. At one time I was eating a large volume of protein, and I think what happened is because I started weight loss, I attributed my surgery and protein to the weight loss instead of understanding that that was something I was going to have to evaluate as I went. I think I got carried away and followed a path that I needed to adjust sooner than I did. Combination of fiber and protein for breakfast. If you do eat breakfast, that's probably a good idea. I narrow the number of windows I eat, number of hours I eat in a day, because as a person who was eating too much, I don't want as many opportunities to eat too much. So I tend to wait until closer to noon before I eat my first meal. But I think the idea of fiber and protein isn't a bad one. If it works for you, definitely do it. I narrow the number of windows. I don't eat 6 meals a day. The more meals I eat, the more trouble I get into. I'm not starving. I feel good. My numbers checked with the doctor are doing really good. So I find that for me, controlling the number of hours I eat in a day is better. Have a plan, and that really is probably a good thing. My plan is I follow it to the best of my ability. I follow the Doc V diet, which is water, water, water. He tells us, gratitude journaling, meditation, and then we do water, green smoothies, meditation, and gratitude journaling. Those are his core fundamentals in the Transform Your Life Challenge. But his diet is a salad, a green smoothie, and then whatever meal you want for your third meal of the day. No snacks and lots of water. Oh, hi, Patty. Good to see you. So I think that for me, that's the way I go. Start small is going to be a definite pointer, because I used to, like I mentioned earlier, I set unrealistic expectations. When I did that, I couldn't stick with them. So even if it's something small, my mom and I walk a mile every morning. That works for us. Sometimes she gets excited and wants to walk more, but we have to keep it manageable and something we can do every single day. Because now we're working on, in the middle of winter, we're working on probably 7 or 8 months of doing this, and it's more important about the consistency than in making it unrealistic and quitting. It says, try counting calories for a month. And I think every once in a while, because I do tend to eat the same thing a lot, so every once in a while, just making sure I don't get out of hand, reevaluating what I'm eating and seeing where I can make adjustments is always a great tool. Get an annual blood test. I do that because I still follow up with my doctor. This one I'm going to say I don't agree with. It says eat every few hours. For me, I ate too much when I ate every few hours, so I don't do that. I narrow the window of time. I try to eat like between 12 and 1 and maybe be done eating by 6 or 7, and that's it. You're not going to do that 100% of the days, but it's what you do most of the time that is going to let you succeed. An occasional thing that's different is okay, but it's when you turn it into a habit that it gets you in trouble. Skip the artificial sweeteners. I'm going to definitely agree with that. I've been off of diet pop, and I had to get off of the sweeteners added to my water after surgery. But my niece sent me article after article after article, probably 15 years ago, about how bad artificial sweeteners are for you, and how it can even create kind of like brain fogs. So I have gotten off that, and I will be always grateful to her for guiding me in that direction. Have an accountability buddy. That is a big thing in Doc V's group. Have someone you're checking in with daily. In some cases, I have more than one, because sometimes things fall by the wayside and you want to keep it going. Find an exercise you actually enjoy. I enjoy the morning walks with my mom. At certain times of the year, I get to watch sunrises, and I get to watch the bunnies and whatever animals are out in the morning. So I do truly enjoy that. So find something you enjoy, because that is something you'll stick with. And then it says figure out your basal metabolic rate. That was kind of a fun one too. My surgeon's office does do those for $25 for patients, just to get an idea. And it gives you an idea of how many calories you burn. It was just kind of fun to do. So if you can find somebody to do it, I know some health clubs do it, some doctors' offices do it, and mine was charging $25 a test. I haven't had it done since COVID, but I had it done just before. So it's something I might do once things settle down again. But I'll run through these 21 tips from the experts. I agree with most of them. There's 1 or 2 of them that I don't do, but we all have to find the journey that we're willing to do and commit to more than we break the rules. You want it to be your pattern, not your exception. You want to live your life of the pattern, not the exception. When your exception becomes your regular everyday habit, that's when our weight loss journeys stall and actually start to turn to regain. So I'll go through these tips real quick and then let everyone get back to their lives. It says protein at every meal. For me, I avoid the protein shakes now. I got on a weight loss stall for 2 years by drinking those prepackaged protein drinks. So I look for real protein in the source of like vegetables and plant and animal proteins. Stick with calorie-free drinks. I think that's a big win. I do not drink anything but water. I eat high-quality protein, hence getting rid of protein drinks for me. Now again, if you're medical or you had surgery, you're gonna have to talk to your doctor and follow your doctor. I'm not medical, but for me, it helps me to get off of those. Losing weight convenient, I do that. I keep my salad stuff prepped, my salad spun and in a container, so all I gotta do is grab some and throw it in a bowl. Sometimes I make baked eggs using eggs and whatever vegetables were getting old, and I have those ready at all times. Water, anything like that. Things that you can have ready to go, that's always a good thing. Don't do something you can't stick to, because you'll just get frustrated, quit, and then you'll feel bad, because you really want this journey to be something that you're enjoying, something that you'll stick with, something that you can make a part of your life forever. The next thing is eat at least 3 cups of vegetables a day. Absolutely. Those of us in the tribe know that you're getting 3 cups at least at a bare minimum if you're doing your smoothie and your salad every day. Work on mindful eating, and I think that is important, because sometimes people will mourn the loss of like the processed sweet foods. I can honestly say at this point I've learned to love the taste, the natural sweet taste of fruits, where before I never thought they were sweet enough, which is why pre-surgical I probably added sugar to everything, because I had polluted my taste buds with so much chemicals that I didn't understand the real taste of food, and I'm actually enjoying it again. Go for a combo of protein and fiber for breakfast. I kind of mentioned I don't eat breakfast. I narrow my window of hours to eat from about like 12 to 1 to 6 or 7. Have a plan. I think a plan is important in that it'll give you something to work towards, because if you don't have a goal, I think life just spins out. Start small, definitely small. Do something that you will commit to and make your habit, not your exception. Too often we make a plan and the plan becomes our exception instead of the rule. We want it to be our rule. Try counting calories for a month just to get an idea of what are you really eating. Then you can make some small tweaks and it will show you progress down the road. Annual blood test, I do that. The eating every few hours, I don't necessarily agree with, because for me, if I eat every few hours, I tend to eat too much. So I do narrow my window like Doc V kind of recommends. I eat from like 12 to 6 or 7, something like that, or 1 to 6 or 7. It says seek out fiber. Fiber will come to you naturally if you're eating your vegetables and your fruits. Have an accountability partner, definitely. We do that in the tribe. Find an exercise you enjoy. I agree with that totally. I walk every day with my mom, and I've been walking for over a year every single day, and my mom has probably about 8 months now. And figure out your metabolic rate, your basal metabolic rate. I do that at my doctor's office, and it is kind of fun to see how many calories you're burning in a day. It's based on like breathing in a machine with oxygen, but it's kind of a fun, unique tool. So I hope you find something useful in that, and these were the 21 tips from experts, and I just thought I'd go through them and see where I'm following and where maybe I'm a little bit different from that. I hope you have a beautiful day, and tonight I'll be live on Doc V's Transform Your Life group at 8:30, I believe it is. So I'll talk to you guys soon, and have a beautiful day.